Hello, welcome everyone. I want to start off with a question. I want you to think about this for a second. What if the one thing that is sabotaging your success or holding you back isn't actually your strategy, but it's your energy? Here's the thing I know to be true. Most high achieving women are chasing their goals, but they're running on empty. We are so busy putting everyone else first and everything else first that we tend to forget about numero uno. And if we are not on our list, especially at the top of our to-do list, we are running around, burning out, and calling it normal. We're stretching ourselves thin, and everyone becomes a priority over us. But it's kind of like the flight attendant says, put your oxygen mask on first before assisting another passenger. So if we're not doing that, what are we missing out on? Here's the thing. The reality is that wellness isn't a reward for success. It's actually the foundation for it. And so if you're going through life and you're like, oh, I need to take care of everything else first, but your body is suffering, your health is suffering, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, those are all suffering, then what kind of success are we really having? Because think about how we show up for other people when we're exhausted, when we are running on empty, when we are burning out. And, one of the biggest things that I see that really shows up for women is that when we're burning out, the resentment starts to build. The anger starts to build. And it's not an intentional anger. Nobody would ever be like, oh yeah, I want to walk around snapping at everybody I love. That doesn't happen. But the reality is that that's what's occurring when we're burning out. So today I want to pull back the curtain on the habits that high impact women use to protect their energy, to fuel their focus, and to lead from a place of overflow, not depletion. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Jen Beck. I'm a registered nutrition consultant and founder of Complete Health Revolution. And for the last 23, almost 24 years, I've helped high achieving women reclaim their energy, their confidence, and their health without extreme diets or gimmicks or burnout or any of the things that we traditionally think about one more thing we need to manage. Because let's be real, ladies, we don't need one more thing to manage. We need one more thing off of our plate, but the energy to fuel everything that's on our to-do list and everything that's important to us in life. So today we're going to talk about how your wellness is your power and how the daily habits of high impact women really can help you too to stay grounded, to stay energized, and to really feel like you are on fire in your mission and have the energy to accomplish everything that you truly want to. And if you've been sacrificing your body for your goals or feel like your tank is running empty more often than it's full, let's fix that. And if I'm speaking to you, do me a favor, drop one of those little fire emojis in the chat if you're ready to stop surviving and really start thriving. Because it's possible. I just want you to know that. What if wellness was your superpower? What if it wasn't one more thing you had to do? What if it was the foundation for you getting to do and enjoy life 10x? Imagine waking up feeling rested and focused, not dragging. Like you walk into your meetings or business calls and you are calm, confident, and clear. You're ready to take charge and you step in with authority. You lead your family or your team or your clients without snapping or rushing or second guessing yourself. Overthinking is a real thing. I suffered from it for years, but I want you to know that you don't have to live in that space. And at the end of the day, you get to end your day proud and not depleted. This isn't a fantasy. This is what happens when you put wellness first. When you take care of your needs physically, mentally, and emotionally, it actually becomes a superpower, a power strategy. And it doesn't feel like a chore because you're in a place where life is filled with ease and flow and grace and energy. And the most impactful women don't just do more, they protect their energy that allows them to be more. Their secret is really the foundational health habits that help them to lead with that energy, grace, and resilience. So it doesn't matter what life throws at them, they can handle it. And they feel capable and energized to be able to do so. most high achieving women are exhausted. Most women in general. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care who you support or what you have on your plate. Most women today are exhausted. We have been told and taught and conditioned that we should be everything to everyone. We're taught to wear a dozen different hats and to say yes to so much that are things that we don't even want to say yes to. They don't light us up. They're just things that we have expectations, either internally or externally, that we should be doing. And somewhere along the way, we started calling this normal instead of burnout. We started calling this just the way life is instead of really living by design. So here's some common signs that you're approaching or in that burnout mode, right? You rely on coffee or caffeine to push through. You wake up in the morning and you're not human until you've had that first cup of coffee. How many of you know that to be true? Put a big old C in the comment for me if you rely on coffee to get going in the morning. Or maybe you don't need coffee in the morning, but by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you crash, even if you've slept enough. Or you feel a little bit snappy, a little snippy, or a little foggy, kind of like your brain is like, it's not fully present, it's buffering, right? You know what I'm talking about? Where the circle is spinning and you're like, all right, I'm getting there. I'm waiting for a clear thought. Like, we'll get there eventually. And somewhere along the way, you've lost your spark, or maybe even you feel disconnected from your body. A lot of the women that I work with, I teach them how to slow down and listen to their body. And the biggest response I hear is that, you know what, I've never paid attention to that before. I've paid attention to all the numbers, the macros, the calories, the things I should and shouldn't be doing, but I've never learned to listen to my body before. And your body talks to you all day long. But many of us don't know the language, or we've never slowed down long enough to listen. And here's the kicker. You might be doing all of the right things, the workouts, the clean eating, the supplements, all of the stuff, but you still feel off. Why? Because you're missing the foundational rhythms that actually restore your energy and your balance. And drop an E in the comments if this hits home, if you feel like and you resonate with that idea of being exhausted. Or maybe you can't even think about that long enough, but you know you're exhausted, right? So when we prioritize our health, though, it is amazing what can shift, right? We stop reacting and we start responding with clarity and presence. We're able to listen to understand instead of listen to react. It's not even responding. It's just reacting, because we've just got to figure out what's the next fire I got to put out? What's the next thing I got to do? What do I need to handle next? And everything feels like it's coming at us all the time. But when we prioritize our wellness and our health, we actually get to slow down and respond. Your body starts working with you versus against you. You know, a lot of times, especially as we age, we go, I don't understand what happened. It just feels like my body turned on me one day. And reality is it didn't happen in one day. And it's not your body turning against you. The reality is that we have been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and we can't do it anymore. And our body finally throws in the white flag and is like, I can't help. I need some support. And it's gotten to a place now where it's starting to impact your life. So when we start prioritizing our health, though, our body stops working against us, and we can start really having our health become our best asset. Because here's the thing. We spend so much of our time driving our careers, building our businesses, serving our clients, taking the next hit, taking on the next goal, taking on the next level in our career, but it's at our own cost. We spend so much time building that legacy or building that business, but we don't enjoy it because we don't have the health for it. So we've worked and worked and worked, and now we're there, and then we go, oh, I feel like crap, and I don't really want to do anything. Instead of going, yeah, let me go travel, let me go hike, let me go do whatever it is I want to do. So when we start really caring for our health and prioritizing it, we get to enjoy our life, not just power through our life. You start handling stress and decisions and emotions with more resilience and calm and presence. And you're finally present with your teams and your families and your goals. It's not a matter of checking the next box. It's a matter of like, I'm designing a life that I love, one that works for me. And I've got the physical and emotional health to truly live it and love it. One gal I worked with, Megan, she was the head of a psychiatry department. She told me she didn't realize how much her wellness was, or lack of her wellness, was sabotaging her leadership until one day she had energy without relying on willpower. This is somebody who was so focused. When we started working together, I asked her how much time she spent thinking about food or her health. And her response was right away. She goes, about 3 hours a day. I said, 3 hours a day. And she went on and told me about how she starts her day thinking about what she's going to do that day, how many calories she needs to manage if she's going out to dinner that night, what she should be eating, and how she needs to reserve calories, and what she gets to do, and the one meal she gets to look forward to at the end of the week. I mean, ladies, it's exhausting when we're just managing it and manipulating the numbers to get through the day, but we still don't have wellness. We still don't have the energy and vitality to lead the way that we want to. But when we prioritize ourselves and we prioritize our wellness, you get to have that energy without relying on willpower, without macro counting or manipulating things or anything else, right? When you truly have wellness as your priority, your body's aligned and your mind sharpens. And when your habits support you, your impact multiplies. We're not fighting against ourselves, trying to make it work or trying to get it done. We're in a place where we can go, oh, yeah, what is my next level? What do I want to create? And so it really is a matter of honoring ourselves so that we can 10x our results. So let's talk about the 5 wellness habits of high impact women. Okay. The first one is to have a morning grounding ritual. And a morning grounding ritual means that we are not starting the day on fire. If the first thing you do is pick up the phone and look at your phone or check your email or your social or look at your text messages of what do I need to do, that puts you in a position where you are chasing your day. You're not leading it. So before picking up your phone or turning on your computer or anything else, give yourself 5 to 15 minutes. Stretch, breathe, hydrate. Set an intention for the day. What are you committed to creating that day? Is it energy? Is it peace? Is it connection? Is it fun? Well, there's a word maybe many of us haven't used in a while. It's like, if I was committed to creating a day of fun, what would that look like? And it's not like you have to take a day off to do that, but what do you get to add into your day that makes it feel fulfilling, not just checking the boxes and getting it done? Number 2 is to eat to stabilize your energy. This means not skipping meals. This is looking at, how do I fuel my body? What do I give my body so that my body does what I want it to do? My body has energy and mental clarity and it feels amazing. This means starting your day with a solid protein-based breakfast. Why? Because when we eat protein first thing in the morning, it stabilizes our blood sugar and it helps us to feel amazing. And we want to combine that with fat and fiber each meal. So again, it stabilizes us. No more energy roller coasters. Good Lord, when I was in my 20s, I used to live on sugar and caffeine. And guess what my moods did all day long? Like, I was happy and then I was angry. I was happy and then I was moody. And my energy, every time I had a low mood, my energy would tank too. But it's because I was starting my day with a bagel and a cup of coffee or a donut or a bowl of cereal or a granola bar or whatever. And that put me on that roller coaster. So we've got to make sure we're starting our day with fueling our body. Okay. Number 3 is to move for vitality, not for punishment. For a long time, I really thought that going to the gym was punishment. Why? Because I was going to a gym and I was doing things that I didn't enjoy. I didn't feel comfortable. My perfectionist brain always thought I was doing it wrong or somebody was doing it better. And so I finally found a system, a way of moving my body that worked for me, right? Daily movement is a non-negotiable, but it doesn't have to be intense. Sometimes just going for a walk after a meal is enough to be able to support our digestion and to help us decrease the amount of sugar that our body is storing, right? A 10-minute walk after a meal can help you burn off some of the extra calories and sugar that you took in that's going to lead to an energy crash later. right? Stretching, dancing in your kitchen, they all count. Just remember that motion equals mood equals momentum. So when we have both motion and our mood in check, that's when we really step into all cylinders firing at the same time. But if we're dragging through our day, we don't get to really experience the power of what could be true. Okay. And then the fourth one is to protect your boundaries like your energy depends on it, because it does, right? This is saying no to the things that drain you and saying yes to the things that light you up and fuel you. Now, it may not be that you have control over absolutely everything that you do in your day. We all have responsibilities and we all have parts of our jobs that we don't necessarily love, but your attitude and your boundaries in when you do that, how you do that, and how often you do that, all of those allow your yeses, even to the things that aren't lovely and exciting. It still allows you to be able to create your energy and to really define how you show up in your day and how you lead your day. We'll talk definitely more about that in future lives. But, doing things like creating a tech-free zone, like guard your evening wind down like there is no tomorrow, because that end of the day is really what sets you up for your how well you sleep that night, and it sets you up for the next morning too, right? And I'll touch on that more in a second, but know that a high impact does not mean you're overbooked. It means you have space. My team used to really get on me because they're like, Jen, when did you take a day off? When did you take some downtime? I'm like, I got too much to do. But the reality is, when we don't create space, we don't have space to create. When we don't create space, we don't have space to create. And so if we don't love how life is feeling and flowing right now, if we don't do anything different, if we don't create space to even go, gosh, what do I want this life to look like? That's one of the most important things I help my clients do, is to take space and go, if I was going to live a life that I loved, that worked for me, what would that look like? For many of them, they go, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I thought about what I wanted because I've got too many other responsibilities to do. But you've got to create space in your day to really design a life that you love. And then the fifth key to really creating wellness as a lifestyle to support your high impact dreams is to sleep like it's your job, right? And this starts with your evening wind down. I just touched on a second ago. It's about turning off the computer. It's about putting the phone away. Gosh, plug it in anywhere but next to your bed. And give yourself 30 minutes to wind down. The blue screens that we see, we're exposed to them, and our brain stays stimulated for an hour after we turn it off. So your tablet, your phone, your computer, your TV, all of those stimulate your brain for an hour after you turn it off. So give yourself a window to unplug and unwind. Create a face wash routine or a stretching routine, or climb into bed with a book, whatever that looks like. If you have trouble sleeping, magnesium glycinate or chamomile tea are great things that will help your body to just relax and unwind. But know that sleep isn't a luxury. It's a leadership tool, because when you're rested, you show up differently. When you have energy, you lead differently. When Hannah started implementing her morning grounding routine, and for her, it was a matter of, she sat down on the edge of her bed, she faced the window, and she greeted the day. And she just gave it a little stretch, took a couple deep breaths, and she set an intention for the day. She decided what she wanted to create that day, what she wanted her day to feel like and be like. And then she added in protein for breakfast. 2 baby step changes. And she said that within 2 weeks, her brain fog lifted and she was showing up differently both at work and at home. And if you want that, if that resonates with you, of like, oh gosh, what would it be like to feel balanced and energized again? Comment reset. Just put reset in the comments below, because I want you to think about, like, what would it be like for not just you, but for your family and your team if you showed up grounded, calm, present, and energized on a daily basis? How would that impact the morale of your team? How would it impact your family? When you come home at night, would you have energy to be able to hang out with your kids and your family? instead of like wanting to go crawl into your phone for a while or crash on the couch. We may not always take that luxury, but I guarantee you there's many, many days when that's how we feel when we're walking home, when we're not energized because we're not taking care of ourselves. So your wellness is not a luxury. It really is a leadership move. And wellness is not about spa days or green smoothies or, doing all of the quick fix kind of things. It's really about taking radical ownership of your energy, your presence, and your power. Because you weren't meant to lead from burnout. You were built to lead from overflow, from ease and grace and energy. And that starts with one decision: to stop putting your well-being on the back burner and to start building the habits that fuel the life that you're here to live. So just to wrap up, here's what I want you to do next. Should you choose to accept this mission, right? Number one is choose one of the habits that we covered today, just one. Number two is to commit to it for the next 7 days, consistently, with intention. Think about how you're starting your day and how you want your day to be like and feel like. And then number three is just watch what shifts. Is it your mood, your energy, your mindset, or all of the above? And if you're serious about creating real lasting change and you're tired of doing it alone, then it's time to take the next step. I want to encourage you to book a free energy breakthrough session with me. You can do so at talkwithjenbeck.com. Okay. So talkwithjenbeck.com. When you do that, we'll uncover what's really draining your energy. Is it mentally, emotionally, physically, logistically? Like, what is it? And we'll identify the habits that have been holding you back. From there, we'll create a personalized game plan that'll help you reclaim your power, one step at a time. I do not believe in overhauling your life in one day. No one can sustain that, let alone most of us are so packed, it takes us a while to get into action in the first place. But today you have an opportunity to figure out what that next best step is for you. Once we uncover the roots of what's holding you back, let's catapult you forward into success. So go to talkwithjenbeck.com. I open up a couple of these each week. They're complimentary because I'm truly committed to helping you create a life that you love and have the physical and emotional health to live it. You deserve it. I'm Jen Beck with Complete Health Revolution. And if you're done grinding and you're ready to glow, to lead, and to live from a place of vibrant energy, let's do this. I look forward to connecting with you soon. Go to talkwithjenbeck.com and I'll see you there.